What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Dark Souls 2 walkthrough. So today we are going to close out the base game. Before we do that, though, there's one quick thing we have to do for a trophy. And when we killed the giant lord, there's one memory that we needed to go back to talk to an NPC to get his equipment. And that equipment, getting his equipment, will trigger a trophy. So we did not do that at the time. We're going to do that now because it is a requirement for a trophy. And so where we're going is to talk to Captain Drummond. He was one of the NPCs and one of the memories. So that memory is the one that is over this way. So literally all I have to do is, since we beat the giant lord and the other memory, all I have to do is talk to him, and then he gives us his stuff, and then that's that. Forlorn's invading. That is hilarious. Just in time. I was just about to enter the memory, and you know, Forlorn has different plans for me. That's fine. Just had to pick up that item, and it got me off of my rhythm. There we go. All right, so in here, just got to exhaust his dialogue.
Take these.
There we go. Very easy.
I just do.
Because we did talk to him before when we first went to this memory, but then you have to circle back and talk to him again after killing the giant, which we did later on. All right, so now that we got that, we're going to trigger the in-game sequence. And so the reason why we're doing this now, instead of at the very, very end, is because... Let's see, I can take this repair powder off. This game, unlike the original Dark Souls, does not force you into New Game Plus when you beat the final bosses of the game. So what happens is you beat the boss, you watch the ending, roll the credits. The trophy for watching the ending, for triggering the ending, doesn't pop until the very end of the credits. But the game does not then automatically send you into New Game Plus, unlike Dark Souls. So what this does is it transports you back to Majula, and then if you interact with the Majula bonfire, there's a new option there that says like begin your next journey or whatever it is. And then from there, if you select that, and only if you select that, does it take you to your New Game Plus game. So there's still more to do. I wanted to put this episode now just for those of you who are not trophy hunters, just so you don't have to wait and skip through another couple episodes just to get to the end of the game. So we're going to close out the game here, and then I'll add a couple more episodes for the farming that's required for trophies. So here we have the Emerald Herald. We can go ahead and talk to her.
My journey is already complete. My name is Shanalot. The dragon gave me this name, for I was born with none. I was born of dragons, contrived by men, by ones who would cozen fate herself. They are the ones who created me. But they failed. I did not come out as intended. Fate would not be bested, and men were cursed once again. If you proceed, Nashandra will come after you, knowing that you will take the throne and link the fire. She covets the first flame and the great soul. Put Nashandra to rest.
All right, so we learned a little bit more of the Emerald Herald's backstory. Her real name is Shanalot, and she told us a little bit about herself there. Tells us we're about to fight Nashandra. So if you haven't put the pieces of the puzzle together, you know, we know Nashandra is one of the fragments of the Father of the Abyss. That's been mentioned several times before since we've done the DLC areas and we've talked to Vendrick and all that. So Nashandra, she is going to come after us. She covets the first flame and the great soul and the power that comes along with it. That's what she was after. all along, and Vendrick kind of wised up to it eventually, and that's, you know, presumably why Vendrick didn't pursue this route himself, because he knew that she was just trying to usurp him and take the power for herself. So that's why he scattered all of these kind of breadcrumbs along the world, knowing that you know, if someone was strong enough to get far enough, to get deep enough, and to find everything, and then to claim the throne, that they would be strong enough to then defeat Nashandra. So that was kind of his logic. And so we're about to either prove him right or prove him wrong. There are several summons you can do here. They're similar to the ones we could summon for the Throne Watcher and Throne Defender, but I'm not going to summon any of them. I am, however, going to equip the Black Witch Veil again. If you don't have this, we got this from killing the invader at the bottom of the gutter after lighting all of the sconces. If you don't have this, you can also use the hollow skin. This will also give you perfect curse resistance. You're going to want to put this on, or the Black Witch Veil. Either one will work just fine, because you're going to experience curse in this fight if you don't have either one of these equipped. So I would highly recommend it. We got the hollow skin in the fire DLC area, and it was in a hidden treasure chest behind a fake wall. So anyways, wear one or the other. Either one will suffice. I'll go on. Well, if you buff up, I think there's a cutscene, so it's going to eat into the buff time, but whatever. I'll go on and buff up, and then we're going to watch the cutscene anyway, so. Throw on my buffs here. And this fight's not too bad at all. I wouldn't worry too much about it, especially since we have this curse-resistant gear on. That's the main thing, is the curse-resistant gear. If you don't have it on, this fight becomes much harder.
Brave undead, you have proven yourself to me. Now, be one with the dark.
All right. So she will set up these fountains. I guess you can call them that enact curse. So yes, those are what I was talking about. And if you're close to them, you see my HP is still draining, but I'm not taking curse buildup. If I didn't have the curse mask on, we'd be taking curse buildup, and our life would be draining all the way. Now you can get rid of these things. I mean, you don't have to, but you can get rid of them just by rolling through them. And if you do, then you're going to stop taking that life drain. But again, it's not really that big of a deal. We can just heal. She attacks with her scythe, but she's really easy to dodge around and then back up and heal if you need to. I mean, I'm going to go on just for the sake of being conservative. I'll go on and heal. She has like a laser beam. Yeah, there's her laser beam that she can do from far away. And I'm close to one of these little geysers that's taking away my health, even though I'm not taking the curse buildup. You can tell like you would be taking the curse buildup because you see that dark fog that's around my head. That's basically saying that I'm within proximity to be taking that curse buildup. So it is draining my life, but it is not, again, since I have this headgear on, it is not causing me to take actual curse buildup. So it's not going to permanently drain my HP until I use a human effigy. So Nashandra, pretty easy, especially if you have the right equipment. If you're wearing this curse resistant stuff, she's super easy. And if you did all the encounters with Aldia,
many monarchs have come and gone.
Familiar voice.
One drowned in poison, another succumbed to flame. Still another slumbers in the realm of earth. Not one of them stood here as you do now. You, conqueror of adversities. Give us your answer.
So if you did all the encounters with Aldia and exhausted his dialogue at each one and also killed Vendrick, you should encounter Aldia at the end here. And so we find out Aldia is the Scholar of the First Sin. So he has these attacks. He'll shoot fireballs at you. Pretty easy to dodge. He'll teleport and warp. So you'll notice he has this, well, he teleports and the fire is not around him right when he teleports. That's when you want to hit him. And that's when you're going to do your damage. But then when he gets this fire aura around him, you notice if you get close, you'll take damage just from being close to him. And also it protects him. It makes it so you do far less damage even if you're far enough away. So you can just attack him with range. You can seriously just cheese him with a bow if you want, or spells or whatever you have. But you know, if you right when he teleports, he leaves himself vulnerable without his fire barrier, and that leaves you open to get some hits. So we'll stick his tentacles into the ground and force them upwards. That's an attack. He does these fireballs. He actually has one that's, I think, a larger fireball that'll do. There he's sticking his tentacles up. And you want to wait for his kind of fiery barrier to dissipate before you try to attack him, because even if I'm far enough, well, even if I'm far enough back, you know, to not take the damage, you see I'm doing pretty pitiful damage myself to him. So right when he teleports, he's going to be vulnerable. So run up and get your hits in. And then back away because he's going to protect himself again, see? And there's his tentacle attack. Just kind of roll away. Oh, that's his other one where it doesn't like go in a linear fashion, but they go kind of in a pattern around him. So this is the one where it's more linear, I believe. Oh no, he's doing the other one too. And when he does that, the fire is gone for a bit, so you might be able to get a hit or two in if you're if you position yourself correctly. It's the linear one? Yeah, there's a linear one. Just waiting for him to teleport so I can get another hit. And you want to stay on the move when he's teleporting, because if he teleports on top of you, it's going to hurt you. So 1 or 2 more cycles where I can hit him should be enough. So that one I just kind of run away from. More fireballs. And one more hit, maybe? Got him. There we go. So not too bad. And that is it. Actually, you don't get any souls for beating Aldia. But that is it.
I lost everything.
For Dark Souls 2.
Patiently. The throne will certainly receive you. But the question remains. Would you tell me? Light, dark, or something else entirely?
So he mentions we have a choice. What do we want? I mean, there's nothing standing in our way. We can do whatever the heck we want. So what we could do is we could leave the throne, or you can proceed to the throne. So there's only one trophy for the ending. Doesn't matter which ending you take, you will still get the trophy. But I say we've done all this freaking work. You may as well claim our reward. We're going to take the throne.
You who link the fire. You who bear the curse. Once the fire is linked, souls will flourish anew, and all of this will play out again. It is your choice to embrace or renounce this. Great Sovereign, take your throne. What lies ahead, only you can see.
All right, so there you have it. That is Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin. So a little bit of, ambiguity in that ending. It leaves it up, to interpretation. It mentions that, everything's going to play out again. It doesn't explicitly show if, even though we take the throne, if we decide to link the fire or not. So that's just kind of, open to your own, kind of whatever you think should happen. But it did mention, we have the choice to renounce or embrace the flame. So whatever our character ended up doing, it isn't explicitly shown. But, as we've talked numerous times before, it's all cyclical anyway. So whether we light it or not, there's going to be another one that comes after us and they can decide to do something different. So yeah, there we have it. That is the game. And, as I said, it does, it is a bit of a controversial entry into the series. There are so many people that just relentlessly hate on this game. I think it is an amazing game. I love this game. I think it is better than most. It is probably my least favorite of the From Software Souls type series genre. But it is still, in my opinion, by every stretch, a fantastic game and a great experience to boot. So. It does have its flaws, but it also has its strong points as well. And is, I have a lot of fun playing this game. So hopefully you've enjoyed your experience as well. As I mentioned before, this game does not force you to New Game Plus right away. So in this playthrough, for this walkthrough, I should say, I'm not going to be advancing to New Game Plus right away because there still are some things you need to take care of for trophy purposes, namely farming for covenants. To get certain spells that are required for the spell trophies, and also there are some rings that we can get by fighting bosses at leveled up bonfires. So we use a bonfire aesthetic and fight certain bosses, and we can get some better rings. Some of those rings are actually going to help us with our item discovery, or I should say, one of those rings will help us with our item discovery. So we're definitely going to do that before we start the farming process, just because it'll give us better odds to get the drops that we need. So that's going to be the next episode, is getting those rings. And then after that, we're going to start the farming for sunlight metals, and then farming for the Bellkeeper Covenant, both of which you need to do for spells that you can only get by farming those covenants. And, that's unfortunately a required step if your goal is the Platinum Trophy. So all that's going to be covered. Again, since this game doesn't force you to New Game Plus right away, I wanted to cover the end game sequence first. Just for those who are not interested in the farming and all that, they can just get on with it and beat the game. So anyways, with all that being said, I will shut up for the rest of the credits. And at the end of the credits, we'll get our trophy for beating the game. And then we'll pick up from there. All right, so there's our trophy for the ending. And as I said before, we're back here at Majula. And now if we rest at the bonfire, we have begin journey 2 to Drang Lake. So we're not going to select that just yet because we still have some work left to do in the game. Most notably some farming that we need to do for some trophies. So I'm going to cover all that in some in future episodes. So hold tight on that. What I'm going to do now, though, actually, is since we have Nashandra's soul, her stuff is open in Ornifex's shop. So let's go back. Let's pay Ornifex a visit. And this is not for anything required for trophies or anything. It's just kind of maybe some lore related stuff. Somebody follow me in here. A spider should stay away because I've got a torch. All right, we can trade. And let's see, where is Nashandra's stuff? There we go. The Scythe of Want and the Chime of Want. Let's go ahead and read those. Scythe, born from the soul of Nashandra, the old one of the abyss, was reborn in death, split into minuscule fragments and spread across the land. After regaining their shapes, they crawled forth yearning for strong souls in search of greater power. And then the Chime. The old one of the abyss was reborn in death, split into minuscule fragments and spread across the land. After taking their shapes, they courted monarchs of considerable power, which they desired to make their own. So kind of that's their MO. So you notice each of these queens that spawned from these shards, they each married very powerful, or at least desired very powerful rulers, which they then kind of plotted to usurp themselves. And Nashandra was probably chief among them in terms of her just kind of evil designs for what she wanted to do with it. So very cool stuff, just from a lore perspective. And I just wanted to point that out since we had her soul. And then I'm going to warp back to Majula, and then, yeah, you might as well read her soul as well. All right, let's pull up her soul. Let's see, Nashandra. There it is. Fragments of the abyss of untold origin nourished their beings by the sides of would-be monarchs. Perhaps they were simply ordeals on the road to kinghood. One day the flames will fade and only darkness will remain, unless, of course, an heir arrives. So, very good stuff. Kind of closes the loop a little bit. And with that, I'm going to call it a day. And as I said, the next goal is going to be to use some bonfire aesthetics on certain bonfires to resurrect bosses in New Game Plus. Or the New Game Plus version of the boss, I should say. We're not going to New Game Plus yet, but since we're using bonfire aesthetics, it basically accomplishes the same purpose. And beating those bosses in their New Game Plus form will give us some +2 versions of rings that we have. So that'll be the focus of that. And that will help us in our farming efforts in future episodes. So anyways, hope you guys have enjoyed, and really appreciate you guys going along with this journey. It's been a long road, but it's been a lot of fun, and I've had a blast along the way. Hopefully you've enjoyed yourself too. So anyways, still some more yet to come, and really appreciate you guys, and we'll catch you later. Take care, everybody.